in one class, there are 15 freshmen and 10 sophomores. 6 of the freshmen are education majors and 4 of the sophomores are education majors. If a student is selected at random, find the probability that the student is a sophomore or an education major. Okay, so let's start here. We're looking for the probability of one thing or another thing. So we're going to use the probability rule for or. So we have two groups here. The student is a sophomore. Let's say that's group A. And the student is an education major. Let's call that group B. All right, so the probability rule is that the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B. And then we have to subtract the probability that we've double counted someone, so the probability of both A and B. Okay, so let's see what we're working with here. It looks like if there's 15 freshmen and 10 sophomores, then there's a total of 25 students. And so let's see if we could arrange this maybe visually. So let's start with students, and there are 25 of them. And of those 25 students, some of them are freshmen. Actually, 15 of them are freshmen, and the other 10 are sophomores. And now, of those 15 freshmen, we're given that in the problem we're given that 6 of the freshmen are education majors. And the others are not education majors. So let's say not education. So if there's 15 total and 6 of them are ed majors, the other 9 are not. And then of those sophomores, so go back to the problem, 4 of the sophomores are education majors. Okay, so down here, education majors, there's 4 of them. And out of the 10 sophomores, if there's 4 ed majors, then the other 6 are not ed majors. Okay, so it looks like, so if our events, we said A is being a sophomore. And the probability of being a sophomore, well, there's 10 sophomores out of the 25 students, so 10 over 25. Event B, being an ed major. And the probability of B, the probability of being an education major, well, there's 6 up here in the freshman group, and there's another 4 down here in the sophomore group. So it looks like there's a total of 10 education majors. All right, so that's 10 out of 25. But then, what about this guy here? The probability that someone is both a sophomore and an education major. And so it looks like that's these 4 students down here. They were sophomores and education majors. So the probability of being both A and B looks like is 4 out of 25. Okay, so now we have everything we need. We want the probability, so let's go back to the problem. We want the probability of the student being either a sophomore or an education major. So let's apply the probability rule. So the probability of A or B equals the probability of A plus the probability of B. So that's another 10 over 25. Let's make that look more like an A minus the probability of both. A and B. And that's minus the 4 out of 25. So it looks like 10 plus 10 is 20, minus 4 is 16. So it looks like our final probability is 16 out of 25.